Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kane.
Today we're going to be looking at the fundamentals of kayaking.
I hope you learned something from it and enjoy it.
So, we've got a spray deck and a life jacket. So let's see how we put them on. First with the spray deck, grab it from the seam, one leg in, other leg in. Pulling up from the seam, pull just up to below the nipples. Alright, you want to make sure that's nice and tight. The life jacket, pop it on. Nice and tight. You want to make sure that's not coming up when you pull it up. Alright, cool. I'm ready to hop into my boat. I've adjusted my foot pegs so that I'm nice and tight inside the kayak. Now to hop in the boat, you get the paddle. One side up against the edge and one up against the kayak. We brace ourselves off it. One foot in. Another foot in. Now we're in on the spray deck. I've wet it up so that it's easier to put on over. Pull it round at the back, and then from the front, pulling forward, tucking in all the edges. Make sure the tag is out, so if you do capsize, that you can pull out. So now, getting our paddle to suit us. On the right side of the paddle, you'll see an elevated handpiece. Always have that in the right hand. That way you know where your paddle blade is, wherever you are. Next point is, how far apart do you have your hands? With the paddle above your head, your elbow should be at 90 degrees. As so. Alright, let's go paddling. So, now for the forward stroke. There's 3 points to remember. Look out for them. Keep the arms straight. Use body rotation at the torso. And the other thing, when you're paddling in a straight line, pick a point, and every time you paddle, aim to go to either side of that point. Now let's see how we go. That's how you get the most efficiency in your forward stroke. 3 things we don't want to do in a forward stroke is bend the arms, try too hard, or lean back. Let's see if you can pick them points out. Forward sweep. 3 points to remember. Keep your arms straight until the end. Watch the paddle as you go around. And remember to keep your torso rotation happening. So let's see how we go. Put it in at the front. Exit at the back. Alrighty. Yep. So what you don't want to do in a forward sweep is not put the paddle in fully and not bending your torso, like so. the opposite to the forward stroke, the reverse stroke. The differences are, instead of using the power face, use the reverse side of the paddle. Also, remember, keep the torso rotation happening and watch your paddle blade. Let's see how we go. Alright, so now that we know how to do the forward and reverse, let's put them together. What to avoid in a reverse sweep: bending your arms, not rotating your torso, and not fully putting your paddle into the water. Now the reason for keeping your arms straight is that your torso muscles are a lot stronger than your arm muscles, and therefore if you use your torso muscles, you're not likely to fatigue as quickly. Alrighty, let's see how it looks. Alright, so a quick game which could help you develop your forward sweep or reverse sweep is to see how many times it takes you to go round 3 circles. 2. 4. You can work on that to develop the efficiency of your strokes. To edging. Maybe one of the most important things to learn in kayaking. The points that we need to remember in edging is to keep one knee up, the top knee, and with the other knee we want to push down so that we're pushing into the foot peg. The other point, while we've got our hips bent as so, we need to keep our torso upright so that we're not going to tip, as I am now. Let's see how we go paddling. Next skill is a low brace. We use this in a situation where we're about to capsize. The points to remember are keeping the shaft close into the body, using the back side of the paddle blade, flicking the hips to pull ourselves up, and slapping the water. Let's see how we go. Remember, when you pull the paddle out from under the water, bring it to the front. And why would we do that? Have you ever tried to pull the paddle blade up once it's under the water? Let's see what happens. Whoa. And that's what we don't want to do. So remember, flip those hips when you're coming back up, keep the shaft nice and close to the body, and use the back side of the paddle blade. Next skill is a phase up from the low brace, the high brace. We use this if the low brace fails. The points to remember in the high brace is get the shaft of the paddle into the chin up position, so it's nice and close and your elbows are below your hands. This time we use the power side of the blade, and remember, use those hips. Let's see how we go. Once again, pull the blade out at the front. Now let's just have a look what might happen if we start with the low brace and then move on to the high brace. Oh, it's not going to work. And that's how it's done.
Well, I'm going to go through stopping. So basically what you want to remember is four sort of strokes, two little strokes on it, and then sort of push harder on the last two. You really want to try and keep balance on both sides, so if you sort of stop hard on one side, the other side's going to sort of move your way out, so try and be even. Okay, I'm going to demonstrate it now. Practice a game to develop your stopping technique. You're just going to pick an object and try and stop as close as you can to it and try and improve on that edge. What I'm showing you now is called the bow draw. It's really important to use it in eddying, but we'll go into that more in a minute. It's also important for turning around objects or just around. It's really important to make sure that the blade is turned, so you're using the power face still. Okay, you've got your wrist on your forehead. This is to stop if you were to hit a rock or anything, stop a dislocation of the shoulder. And you're basically just drawing it in so the nose of the boat meets with the paddle. Feathering sideways, you can make slight adjustments either way. You don't have to go directly out, so if you're slightly moving towards a certain direction you can adjust it, that's fine. It is important to make sure you keep the blade bad technique of that, it might look something, you know, like this. You might be lifting the paddle out of the water. Yeah, this is not good technique with the feathering. You've got the fundamentals of kayaking down. Go out and practice them. You're really going to develop your skills if you get out there and do it. It's been really fun making this video, and thanks for watching.
Thank you!